Hello, everybody. Welcome to I Womanhood. This is Aida you have before you. My name is Aida. Um, I'm back again to give you a little more about this journey that I am on. Right now, we're talking about holistic health and my path to that. Um, most of my adulthood, I have enjoyed nutrition and health, and I've taken nutrition classes, and I've always believed to do things in moderation. So I had no strict diets or anything like that of any kind. I pretty much eat a lot. I snacked all the time, but I tried to snack on healthy things. Um, so I could, in my early years, I couldn't gain weight. I graduated high school at 110 pounds, and my freshman year I went to 125. So I definitely gained that freshman 20, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and running track was something that I enjoyed, and I did, and I continued to run even throughout my first pregnancy. So, here we are now after four children, 38 years old, and now early this year, I knew something wasn't right. I thought it was just PMS, honestly, and just life, lifing, right? So, what's been good about seeing the conventional doctors is, you get to go in there and explain what's going on and, get some tests ran, and then you really get to know, like, oh, okay, that's what it is, or um, what do I do about it? And then your doctors will give you um, some solutions that they think are solutions. One of the most important things have been for me to now take a part in my health journey. Whereas in previous years, whatever the doctor said, even if I didn't even understand a lab, how you get labs taken or your blood drawn, I didn't understand them. I didn't really ask questions. I expected them to explain it to me, or I expected not to understand. And I thought that was okay. Now, in my later years, actually, I'm only 38, I'm still pretty young. um, I know to ask questions now. Now, I print out my labs, or I make sure I sign up, whatever kind of, if you have Quest, if you have LabCorp, or whatever it is, when you get that blood drawn, you can sign in and you can look at that stuff yourself. You can, Quest has links where you can they'll explain it to you what it means. If you're low in vitamin D or whatever those labs say, they have resources where you can learn more about it. And in this stage of life, I realize and recognize how important that really is. And then you can further your research. So that has been a game changer for me, because if I would have noticed or taken a part, more of a part in my own health and knowledge of it in my earlier years, maybe say way back in my first pregnancy, when an allergist told me that I had a fatty liver. I didn't know what to do with that information. She looked at me like it was important, but it was like, okay. So I did a little research, and it was like, okay, these things happen during pregnancy. I put on a lot of weight, 50 pounds, and I lost the weight afterward. So it never got brought back up. But I was aware that things that happen during pregnancy, this is for women's health, things that happen during pregnancy can be an issue later on. So it's something that we have to be aware of. So I didn't really dig further. So now I know, take the time to understand, ask questions, and another reason to look at the labs is because now this year with the diagnosis, I went back to look at some of my labs from 2 years ago, and there were things there that the doctor never discussed with me. So when I did the research, I realized, oh, those were signs even 2 years ago. And so I'm saying always take part. Always take part in your health. You are the one that can get yourself better. You actually, the doctor can give you advice, but we have to take part in that. The doctor can give you a quick fix as far as medication, right? But as we know, medication just masks the symptoms. So true healing is deep. And so that's why I am on this holistic journey. I can go and get a surgery and cut it out. But you want to know what the reality of it is? As I've talked to different mind coaches, naturopathic doctors, and doing my research and reading various books about health and other people's health journeys, if you don't get to a root of it, it's more likely to come back. I know people go into remission and all these kinds of things, but when you don't get to the root of it and actually change the lifestyle and the things that caused it, it's way likely to come back. So this journey is for a true transformation, and that's what I want to share. Okay, so I want to talk to you about a few of the things that even when I got the first inclination that it might be breast cancer, I perked up and was like, oh, okay, time to make some changes. So I took it very seriously, and I didn't get an official test yet at that first appointment, but I knew to take it seriously. And so from there, I started to do some research. There was someone that I was following online, and I never bought into any of his courses or anything, but he's been a health coach. And I was like, you know what? It's only $30 a month. Let me start there. So I did. And he basically talked about, and I'll give him a shout out. It was T Walk the Hawk. I hope I said that right. And on Instagram. And hey, this is how we support one another, okay? And I have been following him for a while, and I know enough about health to know that, food is medicine. So, and I do believe that. I do believe that everything that we have here on this earth is what God has already given us, and that these tools, if we use them correctly, they're here to help us. Food is medicine, not just to indulge in for our taste buds. So now I got more information from a subscription with him, and he basically I learned about bitters. I learned about cleansing and detoxing the body. I learned about truly changing my lifestyle. So from that point on, I completely took out sugar, except for fresh fruits, raw fruits. So I completely took out sugar and carbs. That was the first thing that I did. And then I went into a detox. And here are some of the products that I'm not using right now, but that I started with, and they did help me. And I want to give you, more of an update. So this is what I started with. There was a woman, I was selling a product, and there was a woman who told me about her journey, and she was like 90 years old and phenomenal health. And she was strong. She bumped against me, and I was like, oh, she's strong. She laughingly, just nudged shoulders with me, and I was like, this woman is strong. At 90 years old, she was beautiful. And I asked her what supplements she used, and she told me about Andrew Lessman. And so this year, when I was like, you know what, I need to get some good stuff, I looked this up, and I got this one in particular because of my particular situation. So in it, you can look it up for yourself. And I have no affiliation with any of them, but this is one of the products that I use. And I later found out I was very low in vitamin D. This has vitamin D in it. has green tea extract. It has those indole 3 carbanols, and those broccoli extract, the curcumin, the lutein, the lycopene. And so, if you do your research, you'll know why all those are very important for breast health. Okay, so I started to really, really deepen my knowledge of these things as well as changing my lifestyle. Okay, this was amazing. This another client of mine had told me about this and the Protandem, and I only used one bottle of it, and I've been doing a lot of different things, and this was truly amazing and helped with that initial detox, as well as the burdock root, as well as I did a lot of juicing. I still do juicing, not as much as I did initially, and I've been going in phases of things. And so those are three things that I wanted to show you that I started my detox with, as well as like dandelion tea, burdock root tea, stinging nettle leaf, those different teas to help detox my body, as well as things like wormwood to deworm the body. And before I even got the diagnosis, I started this. Okay. And so about a month later, literally the day after I got the official diagnosis, I was in bed sick. And I mean, like never before. I've had 4 children, all naturally, and I've never even had the flu. So, you know, when the strong ones go down, I mean, whew, I was I was detoxing for about 3 weeks. Now, this night, like that, the night, the start of the detox, it felt like death. It felt like death. I woke up about, I went to sleep early and I woke up about 10 p.m. and I was like, oh my gosh, it's only 10 p.m. And I just went into prayer. My kids were already in bed sleeping, and I just immediately went into prayer. I went in my dining room and I was just praying to the Lord. And it all started to come out of me like mucus, so much. I mean, it was coming out, and it was not pretty. It's not pretty at all, but it was coming out, and I knew it coming out was a good thing. And that took about 3 weeks. The first week was I was in bed. The second week was pretty rough, and the third week was awesome. I still had a lot of it coming out of me, but it was on the better end. I was shifting, and it was good too because I was in Florida that third week, and that's where I went, and it was about the mindset, shifting my mindset around these things. And I had an amazing week with a life coach there and others. And then immediately when I came back from that, I went to Asheville, North Carolina for a meditation retreat on healing. And so that's how I started my journey.